Welcome to Alchemize Yourself Tarot. I'm going to be exploring now whether or not you and a particular person are equally invested in your connection right now. We're going to do a love reading, exploring whether or not the two of you are on the same page or equally invested. Whether or not you're giving too much or too little, or they are. What's going on here? What is your level of emotional investment versus theirs? And how to balance the connection, or how to achieve balance if you are capable of achieving balance here. What is your level of emotional? Well, you're very invested. Emperor. You know, the Emperor is very much concerned with long-term stability, protection, authority, taking the lead on a connection. Whether or not you're seeing this person or you're in this energy, you're very sure about what you want here. You're looking at long-term connections. You are definitely not entertaining anything that doesn't have a sense of purpose, direction. The Emperor is not an overly emotional character or archetype, but the Emperor is definitely very serious about what they want. So you're showing up very serious. You have very definitive expectations for what you want in a connection. What is their level of investment? Ten of Pentacles. Well, it looks like the two of you are both pretty serious here about your long-term goals, your stability. I mean, the Emperor with the Ten of Pentacles, this is two people wanting marriage, wanting abundance. So whether or not you and this person want this together, you definitely are well matched in the sense of you want the same things. Or this is somebody that you're coming into alignment with. You're definitely not wanting to waste time with frivolity. You're wanting to be able to build a life with somebody. Both of you could be more mature, you know, have very high standards for yourself and for your partner. You know, you foresee building a legacy with a person. If you are to get into a commitment or a relationship, you definitely take that role very seriously. What could be imbalanced here, though? Like, what could be... Oops, flew over here. Nine of Pentacles. Ooh, so what could be imbalanced is maybe both of you are wanting to be single, or one person is wanting to build up their wealth, their independence, and their abundance before getting into a relationship, because they do take relationships very seriously. So the imbalance is someone may need more time. They may be wanting to be single, whether it's you or this person. Focusing on a long-term goal, not wanting to get into a commitment before you're really ready. So neither one of you, I don't see either one of you being frivolous as far as just wanting to waste time in a connection. You're definitely focused on building wealth and abundance. You have a goal that you're really focused on, and it could be that you're not necessarily ready for a commitment. Yeah, you're manifesting something with the Magician. Both of you could be two very powerful individuals, or some of you are in the process of manifesting this. But, you know, the Magician is highly focused on, you know, what they're wanting to manifest into their life. This is somebody that has resources, skills, abilities. Some of you are really wanting to hone in on your manifestation skills, and you're wanting to glow up. You're wanting to better yourselves. But the thing with a long-term relationship is you or your person aren't going to want to waste time or, get into any connection that would jeopardize a specific goal. So there's definitely a clear, specific goal here. I'm not seeing anything. Somebody's definitely all about substance, not illusion. Because the Magician can be trickster if it's reversed or distorted, but with the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles and the Emperor, this is somebody very serious about what they want to do. They want to have a new beginning in some way, wanting to start over. The imbalance could be that someone could be newly single and they're trying to rebuild their life after already having something established as well. But what's the emotional truth here? So you have material, you have abundance, but what is the emotional truth? Three of Swords in the reverse. You're not wanting to repeat a cycle from your past. Some of you have been through a divorce or a breakup, or you're dealing with somebody. Someone may be needing to heal from a heartache, something that didn't work out. So being in the process of rebuilding your life, rebuilding your sense of self. I'm getting that there's this need for healing. Someone could just be recently healed after, a breakup and needing to start at the imbalance is someone's needing time to reinvent themselves. What's going to bring more balance here? Not to stress out, not take on unnecessary burden or load here, not overextend yourself, because the Ten of Wands could be somebody that struggles with baggage, needing to close out a cycle, not needing to take on somebody else's baggage, needing to stand strong in your sense of self, needing to recover from past things that didn't work out. But, when it comes to investing too much or too little, just keep in mind, you don't want to take old baggage into new relationships. And I feel like both of you could be really aware of this. This is actually looking really good. King of Wands could be someone trying to get over something that was toxic, controlling, a karmic cycle, a karmic pattern, needing to do time for soul searching. So both of you could be in that position, not wanting to repeat past mistakes. So this is looking really good as long as you stay focused on what you actually want. But for many of you, you're dealing with someone like this. They're not necessarily wanting to waste anybody's time here because they do have a strong sense of purpose, but they may not necessarily be ready. One or both of you may need to, be single for a while. That way you're not just falling into something frivolously, being really focused on a goal or what you actually want out of a connection. Neither one of you are wanting to deal or bring baggage from the past into this connection. So your level of emotional investment is you want an emperor. You want to be the emperor. You want to have control, glow up, self-love, and new you. So this is a big change in you. You're leveling up. You're taking your life very seriously. You love yourself. You're glowing up. You're changing what you admire or what you desire in your relationships. You're taking your power back. That could be something you have in common with this person too. Maybe they're experiencing that self-love and that big change in their life as well. So you're going to be in alignment with somebody that's matching you there. But what is their level of investment? This could be somebody that definitely wants to be in a marriage or a commitment, you know, or they take their commitments very seriously, their family very seriously, but their level of investment is conflict, power struggles. So this person may be going through a power struggle with an existing karmic cycle. So that's something to be aware of too. They could be having conflict over finances, family, legacy. And how this could show up with you is if you're having a new beginning or reinventing yourself, there could be a power struggle there between responsibilities. Both of you could have a lot of responsibilities or existing family. You know, that shows up a lot in people that have already been through marriage or a long-term commitment. Conflict over who is leading the relationship, who gets to be in charge. King of Wands in the reverse can be a very controlling kind of temperamental masculine energy. So just be aware of that. Like a power struggle over resources, needing to necessarily, you know, have your resources in alignment, whether it's you or them, before you can actually settle down into something. But the imbalance here, somebody's wanting to be single. There's definitely something that somebody here is wanting to manifest. They're trying to complete something. They're better together. Some of you will realize that your life purpose, you're a good match because you both share similar goals as far as where you are at in your life. So you find that you're a good match, you know, as you start to manifest new things, new abundance, a glow up, positive changes coming in your life. I'm getting this could be a newer connection. So the emotional truth here is that some of you are just ready to get over things that didn't work out in the past here. But it's not necessarily over, right? Because sometimes people come into new relationships with baggage. They have a past. They could have kids. They could have family issues. So there's definitely the emotional truth is that somebody's ready to heal, right? The grass is greener, the next big thing. Never satisfies, serial dater. Could be that somebody's, you know, perpetually unhappy, or they've been unhappy in long-term relationships and they're trying to figure out what they want. So that could be a big issue here is, are you going to be in alignment? Is this person going to be in alignment with you, or vice versa? And does someone have a grass is greener syndrome? Now, if one or both of you have been in a relationship before, it could be that you're ready to have a new experience in love. You were very big on responsibility, but you weren't necessarily emotionally satisfied. Yeah, because Four of Wands could be, you know, not being happy in a marriage or a relationship. So there's this need to not carry that past baggage anymore. Yeah, trash, not worth the effort. Not a good person, bad reputation. Ooh, so the path to balance is needing to get rid of past energy. Things that weren't worth the effort or time. Taking out the trash. Putting the past behind you. Because if you're going to align with a long-term, stable partner, you can't carry that baggage or that trash into the next relationship. You have to be ready to let that go. Yeah, and needing to let go of resentment and bitterness, a lack of forgiveness, and angelic help. divinely guided, divine intervention. Someone's needing to heal. It's like the divine is stepping in and reminding somebody, hey, you can't bring past baggage into a new connection, especially if you're manifesting a new connection where you're in alignment and you're a perfect match with somebody. You've got to release the past. Yeah, past life, exes. Somebody has old past energy that definitely needs to be released. So, you know, how can this be? You know, you need to make sure that you're both on the same page if you are going to invest in a relationship. Could be even conflicts over money, especially, and there's like a lot of anger about that. You know, someone could owe alimony or, you know, have to divide their expenses, their family assets, all of that stuff. Awakening, expansion. You have been receiving messages that it's time for your soul to expand beyond the 3D vision. Okay, that's that awakening, that angelic help, that divine intervention. You are an old soul that is here to do many great things. You have come to realize this through doing the hard work and merging with your higher self. There is no going back. So enjoy this new way of being by having acceptance and inner peace moving forward. Yeah, you're a new person. You're letting go of past baggage, bad relationships. You're ready for that next phase, you know, peace. You're not wanting to bring anger, resentment about things that didn't work out in the past. It's very important to remember that, especially for those of you who have manifested a new connection, because I see this being very powerful and expansive. But yeah, you cannot take your past into this new connection. Yeah, power and control. We grasp tightly when we feel we are losing control. Let this play out without the need to have it your way. So there's this need to not try to control the other person. Let it play out naturally. Because yeah, Emperor energy, Ten of Pentacles, these are serious energies. You can't try to control, or you can't try to mold or force somebody to fit into your circumstances, right? There's a need for flexibility and uniqueness. Embrace the qualities and characteristics that make you special. Avoid comparisons to other people. Yeah, don't compare yourself to people from this past, or this person doesn't need to compare you to their ex. You don't need to be comparing them to your ex. This is a burned bridge. There's no going back to this old cycle. Or somebody's needing to make sure that they don't make assumptions or try to compare you to the past or vice versa. Embrace what makes this connection unique. Somebody needs to find their way through this without interference or influence, okay? Especially if there's conflict and some unhealed things. You don't need to get involved with that. And this person doesn't need to get involved with your past, because there's definitely some baggage, a cycle that's closing out here. So I wish you the best of luck, especially those of you who are getting into newer connections, wanting to like really hone in on creating abundance in your life and letting go of the past. You've got to let go of all that past baggage. And you also have to allow your person to deal with all of that without trying to compare or control or, you know, be too rigid. So yeah, I wish you the best of luck, and please like and share and subscribe, and see you again. Bye.